The Nazi worldview. The crimes that Nazis committed were linked to a system of belief and a set of practices. According to this, there was no equality between people, but only a racial hierarchy. In this view, blue-eyed Nordic German Aryans were at the top, Jews were at their lowest rung, and all other colored people were placed in between depending upon their external features. Darwin was a natural scientist who tried to explain the creation of plants and animals through the concept of evolution and natural selection. Herbert Spencer later added the idea of survival to the fittest. So, according to this idea, only those species survived that could adapt themselves to the changing climatic conditions. And Darwin never advocated human intervention in what he thought was purely natural process of selection. But his ideas, they were used by some thinkers and politicians to justify imperial rule over conquered peoples. The Nazi argument was very simple. The strongest race would survive and the weak one would perish. So the Aryan race was the finest. It had to retain its purity, become stronger and dominate the world. Now the other aspect of Hitler's ideology was related to geopolitical concept of Lebensraum or living space. He believed that new territories had to be acquired for settlement. But why? This would enhance the area of their mother country, and it would also enhance the material resources and powers of the German nation. Hitler intended to extend German boundaries by moving eastwards to concentrate all Germans geographically in one place. So, Poland became the laboratory for this experimentation. Establishment of the racial state. Once in power, the Nazis quickly began to implement their dream, that is, creating an exclusive racial community of pure Germans. Nazis wanted only a society of pure and healthy Nordic Aryans, and this can be done by physically eliminating all those who were seen as undesirable. They were only considered as desirable, like Jews, Gypsies, and Poles, and only they were seen as worthy of prospering and multiplying against all others who were classified as undesirable. Now, under the program, Helmut's father, along with other Nazi officials, had condemned to death many Germans who were considered mentally or physically unfit. Jews were not the only community classified as undesirable. There were many others. Many gypsies and black living in Nazi Germany were considered as racial inferiors. They were widely prosecuted. Even Russians and Poles were considered as subhuman. Jews remained the worst sufferers in Nazi Germany. They had been stereotyped as the killers of Christ. They survived mainly through trade and money lending. They lived in separately marked areas which were known as ghettos. They were prosecuted in these ghettos through periodic organized violence. Hitler's hatred of Jews was based on pseudoscientific theories of race, which held that conversion was no solution to the Jewish problem. It could be solved only through their total elimination. So, from the year 1933 to 1938, the Nazi terrorized, pauperized, and segregated the Jews, compelling them to leave the country. And then the next phase, that is the year 1939 to 1945, it aimed at concentrating them in certain areas and killing them in gas chambers in Poland.